So it was a night at the museum, and there were a lot of gay people there.
Lesbians. Specifically lesbians. I'm Siena.
And I'm Toast.
We're partners in love, life, and music, and we've been together since 2001.
With each episode of this podcast, our goal is to help our fellow LGBT community members lift their lives to the next level.
Happy June, everyone.
And welcome to this episode.
Am I yelling?
No, you're not yelling. Okay. Is it loud in your headphones?
No, it's not, but maybe that's why. I can't even hear myself in my headphones.
Okay.
Not
let's
that
try.
Okay, let's see.
Is that better?
Okay, maybe that's better because then I can tell if I'm yelling.
Yeah.
I think I kind of yelled.
Let's check.
Okay, I didn't yell.
Okay. All right.
It's so strange, your perception.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even really close to yelling.
Mm-hmm. We don't want to yell at you, dear listener.
We don't. Okay, so hope you guys are doing great. Happy June. And so we realized we looked back at the May topics and even the April topics, and you guys probably need a break, you know?
From the sermons?
From what we've been covering.
From the sermons and workshops?
Yeah, so, I know we don't go in like a 30-minute episode, 25-minute episode. You can't really go that, take a topic very deep. But still, we think you need a break. So we're our plan is to just have a few lighter topics for the month of June, and hope you folks enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we are interested in pursuing interviews for some future episodes, probably after summer, though. Mm-hmm. So we're going to figure out the logistics of that and if we're going to use Zoom or whatever we might
What the heck we're doing.
Yeah. But we want to highlight people in the LGBTQ community who are pursuing a life they love. Whether they are passionate about something that they are doing in their life, whether they are passionate about their person in their life. And we'll see how that fleshes out.
Okay. But for this episode,
yeah.
we thought like we will continue the tradition that we've started of kind of updating you on our date project. Like every, month, we've kind of given you a little report, status update on our dates, because this year we had decided at the top of the year, we're going to prioritize that. We never were very good about that in the past. So we got very proactive and scheduled days or nights for the entire year.
Yep.
And although we've had to make some schedule changes every now and then because that's life, we've given you updates.
Okay, so
this whole episode is going to be an update, kind of. Right?
Well, yeah, okay. So the last date, no, this wasn't the last date. This was just one of the dates. It was an interesting one. We decided to partake of what's called OMSI After Dark. Is that porn music?
That's sultry, steamy After Dark music. OMSI stands for, OMSI is OMSI, and it stands for the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. And they have a series of events and programs called OMSI After Dark. And it kind of cracks me up because the way that they describe it and advertise it is they say, shoot off water rockets, concoct chemical creations, explore the wonders of OMSI with no kids in sight.
Yes, because Toast and I, we're now members of OMSI, but we have been to OMSI several times now, and yeah, there's kids everywhere.
I think it's kind of recognized as being a great museum for kids.
kids.
So when you go, there's a lot of kids, whether they're from school, you know, on a school outing or whatever. But OMSI After Dark is an adult thing. So we went to our first OMSI After Dark, and it was called Poisonous World.
Poisonous World. Yeah. So every month, OMSI has an After Dark. Is it just one day? Or is
You
it
know,
a
I don't
weekend?
even know if it's monthly. It's regularly, but I don't know what their official schedule is. But every event of this OMSI After Dark series has a theme.
Yes.
So
it's always different.
Yeah, so one of them is, for example, upcoming one is called Guilty Pleasures, and it's about the science behind bad habits. So they're probably going to be talking about caffeine and sugar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, the one we went to was called Poisonous World. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to see the notes here?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
But yeah, so we walked up to the museum, and the first thing we see outside of the museum doors is this giant truck that is painted with the brand of one of our favorite chocolates
That we were introduced to here in Oregon. It's called Tony Chocolonely.
Tony Chocolonely. Now that sounds like a candy bar that you would not want to eat.
I know it's lonely.
It sounds
There's
very
lonely in the
sad.
name.
It sounds very sad. But this seems to be a very conscious business, a company that wants to do things the right way, the ethical way, and their chocolate is fantastic. So we were surprised to see that right outside of the museum. And so we were like, oh my God, this is going to be so fun if this is the thing that's outside. Because it was a truck that you could, first of all, you could have samples, but you could walk into this truck and see how they make their chocolate and where they source things from. So we got through that, went into the museum, and it was just Lesbian City.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, it's like the lesbians are into this science stuff after dark.
Yeah. For real,
Like
people.
I think
like,
this
for
was the
real.
most lesbian attended thing that we've gone to except for Pride.
Yeah, there were even more. I would say that the ratio of lesbians to non-lesbians at OMSI After Dark was even higher than the ratio at that cat fundraiser thing that we went to.
Yeah, for sure. And lesbians and cats, right?
Right?
But I guess lesbians
So-
and science and after dark and no kids.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But so that was a surprise for us, a pleasant surprise. We were like, oh, look at all these lesbians.
Well, because the first thing we did was we went to the restaurant.
To have dinner.
Yeah, that's in OMSI. And after we sat down with our
We're like-
plates of pizza, we looked at each other and we're like, lots of lesbians here.
Yeah, we're like, one lesbian, two lesbian, three. There's a couple there. Oh, they're holding hands. Oh, I bet that person's a lesbian. Oh, there's another lesbian.
Why?
Yeah. It was great, though. It was great. It was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it never
You know how it is. You know how it is, people.
Yeah, and it's never old, to be reflected. Even if it's purely on a generalized lesbian basis, right? Versus say your culture of like your ethnicity, seeing Asian people around, like it never gets old to me.
To see other lesbians
To appreciate
in the
the
wild,
feeling.
in the organic,
Yes,
naturally occurring lesbians.
Naturally occurring lesbians. Like we weren't at a Pride event.
Right.
I wasn't prepared. And here we go. Boom. Everywhere in sight, like confetti, right? Just everywhere. And so it never gets old for me. Like I am always delighted. I'm never like, oh, so many lesbians, whatever.
right.
I like it. I like lesbians.
That must be how it is to be a straight person. Because you see straight people in the wild,
Yeah, but I'm sure
organically,
straight people
naturally
are not-
occurring straight people all the time, and that's like you see yourself reflected.
But I
everywhere
think
you
it's
go
old
on
for straight
TV
people.
and stuff.
I think it's old for
Well, it's like
straight people aren't
because it's
appreciating
like-
the straight people around them.
Exactly, it's like fish swimming in water, right? It's like, yeah, it's the water, of course.
And of course, our straight people can correct us if we're wrong.
Yes.
Okay, anyways, but on to the event. So we're at this place, and we're looking, okay, after we get past the lesbian, the mass of lesbians around us, we're looking around going, I mean, I don't know what we really expected.
Well, I know what you were looking forward to the most was to touch.
There was a reptile event there.
Yeah, so Siena was super excited and really hoping to have basically a petting zoo of reptiles.
Yes, I love reptiles.
And I was really hoping that would come true for her because I wasn't clear from the description that there would be that. It may have just been like a lecture about reptiles and their venom.
But we're at this event and we soon realize, like, wow, this is for nerds. This is a nerdy event because everywhere you look, there are like little tables of people doing like showing science experiments and doing their own thing. And there's couples and people around the table watching a science experiment happen. So that's everywhere. You also see giant Legos and adults playing with Lego. Hey, cool, right? Yeah, great. Yeah. Do it. Yeah. But it was such a weird mix because there's also a DJ blasting Michael Jackson, which I will never complain about. And so it feels like a nightclub, but it's not dark. There are drinks, alcoholic beverages.
They were selling drinks, yeah.
But it's all machinery, science experiments, Lego, all these interactive types of nerdy things. But I was just surprised by that. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. It's a science museum.
Right. Yeah.
But the amount, the strength of the nerdiness, that overtone was just like, oh, wow.
Unapologetic, shameless nerdiness.
Nerddom. Yeah.
I think it was the brashness of the nerdiness that was very refreshing.
It was refreshing, and I kind of felt at home, and yet it was the nerd scale was a little bit higher than my level. You know, maybe not even a little, quite higher than my level, because I can't say I'd be very excited doing dry ice experiments. You know, and yet people looked like they were very into doing the experiments as well as witnessing them. But I think, what did you think? Did you think like that was kind of your nerd level? Like, hey, you found your people?
I could get into it. I think I could get into it. I think that environment made me feel a little insecure because it was so new. And for me, right? Well, for both of us, obviously. So it was kind of an environment of, adult playtime. In a science kind of way.
Right. A science way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that whole thing that we talked about recently about imagination and the childlikeness of it, right? And just being free to express your creativity.
There's Bear.
Oh, Bear is meowing. Our cat Bear is meowing. So that was new, I think. And that's what made me feel a little... Uncomfortable is too strong of a word.
Yeah.
But delighted, but also...
It was very delightful.
Yeah, it was super delightful in a disarming kind of way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Disarming is probably the word I'm looking for, not uncomfortable. I was disarmed by how much we were invited to just...
Play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Play. They even had like a popcorn machine, all
Gelato.
kinds of like nuts, gelato... different beer tasting, all kinds of things there. So it was fun. And they had like bug displays. And because, again, this was the poisonous theme.
Right. Poisonous world.
But they also
perfumes.
had... Oh, yeah. Perfumes.
Perfumes that were made out of poisonous plants. Made from plants that are poisonous.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah. That was incredible because they smelled amazing. And yet how they extract it where it's not poisonous for the person using them, I don't know. They were expensive.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They were like, what, 100 and...
Well over 100, maybe a
well
few
over,
hundred.
right? For that tiny little thing. But I guess actually that's
so it was
what
very
perfumes
adult
cost.
perfume.
Adult perfume and, okay, what else? okay, so the reptiles. So the reptile, so Toast first introduced like, hey, what about for our next date? We go to OMSI After Dark. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And just feeling, I don't know, maybe I was just feeling bitchy. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then she told me the theme. Oh, yeah, it's going to be cool because they're going to talk about poison. And I'm like, gosh, do I really want to be listening to a poisonous plant lecture for our date night?
Yes, you do.
But once she got to Mr. Reptile, who was going to be there with his reptiles, I'm like, I'm in. I am in. But I need to pet a reptile.
But I did tell you right from the start that I'm not sure if that means there's going to be
you had
actually
your
live
disclaimer
cold-blooded reptiles
to
there.
not get my hopes up, but
But
my
we
hopes
went and,
just were up. And we were there. We were early because I was panicking about not getting a good seat for the reptile
we
show.
sat in the front row.
And I did get to pet one because it wasn't set up like a petting thing. Right.
But the lecturer did, we arrived early so that we saw the lecturer arrive, pushing along a giant Rubbermaid bin. And when someone asked him what was in the bin, he said, animals.
And
so that
was
got us really excited.
Yes. And so he brought various reptiles and showed them and talked about them. And the one that he allowed everyone to pet was the cutest one we could have pet. And her name is Fish Stick. And she was so beautiful. We can use that photo, actually.
Oh yeah, it's going to be super blurry because
no, I have
you
a
have
picture
a good
of
one.
Fish Stick.
Okay,
Yeah, I have
because the lecture took place in a darkened room, right? So because he had slides that he's
oh my God,
accompanying his talk and stuff like that, and he's just putting Fish Stick in front of everybody's face so that everybody can reach their hand out and touch Fish Stick's scales. It's not skin. It's not fur.
but
it's not feathers.
Fish Stick was so beautiful. Fish Stick is like dark black with like tiny little white spots, and she has the cutest face ever. And when you pet her, she feels like beads, like a beaded something, like something with small beads. So it was a great night.
No, we don't even know what kind of animal Fish Stick is.
Well, an amphibian. Some sort of amphibian.
We're not that nerdy, I guess.
But maybe people don't know that about me, but I love reptiles.
Really?
How come you're saying really? I used to play with lizards. I used to play with chameleons. I had a salamander. I had a salamander. Why don't you know that about me?
Well, what? I guess I didn't know that you had... Yeah, this is new for me because I didn't realize it was so specific to reptiles. I thought you just, you like animals.
Oh, well, yeah, I love animals.
Which you do. But so I thought reptiles were just like, well, reptiles are animals, so of course you like reptiles. I thought it was like that.
Well, you know what? We have a listener named B. Well, it's like B. Louise. So B-E-E, like kind of a handle, right? And she and her partner recently got a leopard gecko named Heckle. And when I saw Heckle, I was like, oh my God, Heckle needs his own Instagram. He's beautiful, and he must feel super soft like a gummy bear. And he's just beautiful. So anyways, Heckle. Shout out to Heckle. All right. So that was a great night, and I would go again.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe we will go again. We have to find a theme night that we're like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, but you know what? This relates because it was at this OMSI After Dark event that we found out about a place in Portland called the Peculiarium.
Oh, yes.
And the Peculiarium is its own tiny little labor of love kind of museum of what do we call it? Like
oddities.
Yeah, good one.
Kind of screamed that one. Anyways,
oddities like the abominable snowman and Krampus and mummies and
aliens,
alien abduction, and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what is that? Like, what do they call those? B movies? B movies? Like horror films, you know, like B horror films. Kind of like that. Hopefully you get the picture.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, the owners, it's pretty cool because what we're finding out, what we're finding to be true in Portland is that it's almost like anything you can dream up. Hey, just do it. There's so much niche businesses out here,
right?
The Peculiarium being one of them. And so it looks like these two, the proprietors of Peculiarium are two friends, two guys who just had this dream of putting all kinds of weird things in this space that you can visit and walk through and experience and look at. And one of them actually makes some of the items that they display there. Mm-hmm. So one of them was, so they're very creative. So it's not all, very little is real stuff, meaning like from a movie set or like the actual bones of something creepy.
Right.
It's like, it's just really to stir your
fantastical
imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the owners made this sculpture of a little being, and they gave it a name of Derek, who is considered to be this so-called artifact is considered to be a baby merman, not a mermaid, a merman. So, and also another one of the owners, the other owner actually, creates spooky comic books that they have for sale at the place. Mm-hmm.
So it's more of that adult, just play time kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's imaginative stuff.
Yes.
So we found out about this Peculiarium at OMSI After Dark because they had a booth there, and the way it tied into Poisonous World was they had made themselves, just like Siena mentioned, these little glass bottles that were like super, super hot powder from some kind of pepper plant or something, right? And the label was really creatively positioning it as like psychic powder or whatever, stuff like that, you know? So we're like, what the heck is this? So that's how we found out about the Peculiarium. And then we decided, you know what? We should go. We should go there.
So I was like, I want to go there on my birthday. So I guess it's not really that recent by the time they hear this, but so Peculiarium was one of the stops on my birthday, and Veggie Grill. And I'm saying it like that because it's so funny. You know, the things that I personally miss about California, I mean, there are a lot of things actually, but one of them was we used to go to Veggie Grill quite often when we lived in California, and there were various locations, one quite close to where we used to live. Here, I'm not saying that it's far, because it's not far, the Veggie Grill, but it's downtown, which is really not bad at all.
Yeah, compared to LA, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, but I think maybe we've just gotten used to how things are here, and so compared to everything else, it feels somewhat of a haul, even though it's not. But you have to like find a parking structure to go to Veggie Grill, and I'm used to just going into a parking lot, and then there's Veggie Grill. So anyways, I saw that there was another Veggie Grill, not in Portland, but like 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away. So that's the one we went to. And it also happened to be right next to another Powell's Books that was set up more like a Barnes and Noble, right? Mm-hmm. So we went to Veggie Grill. The menu has since doubled since the last time we were there, but I stuck with what I love, which is the all hail kale salad and the buffalo wings, and we had some fries and toast. What did you have?
What did I have?
The bibimbap?
Yes.
Bibimbap.
Yes, that's right.
Bibimbap. So we had a great lunch, and then we went to Powell's Books and enjoyed being there, did a little shopping there. Then we went to the Peculiarium, and then ended the day with going back to Eden, which is a vegan gluten-free bakery, and we bought all kinds of birthday treats. So it was great.
And I was so happy for you that your veggie grill experience on your birthday
so
did not
good.
disappoint.
No, it
because
was so good.
I did have, a slight worry that it would disappoint.
No, it was great.
Okay.
Well, that location was great. The one downtown, the only other time we've been to Veggie Grill here, it wasn't as good.
Okay.
So I think this location is better.
And also, too, you know how it is when in your memory something is so good and then you don't have it for a whole year.
Right. And then you're like, oh, did I really love this? I didn't.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was worried. So that's why I was very happy that you were,
I was very happy.
It delivered on all of your expectations was great for your birthday.
I would like to go there every year. Okay. And let's see. So this episode is supposed to air on June 4th. So the day after what will be Toast's birthday. And we are planning to, I'm planning to make her a strawberry pie. Mm-hmm. It's what she chose versus strawberry shortcake or a traditional pumpkin pie, because pumpkin pie, she loves that. But she chose seasonal. So a strawberry pumpkin pie. Strawberry pie. So I'll be sure to take pictures of that. But what else do you want to do on your birthday?
So what I'm looking forward to doing is doing nature stuff.
Yes.
So maybe returning to the Tualatin Nature Preserve.
Oh, I love
and doing the hike there. Or maybe checking out the Lansu Chinese Garden.
Yes.
Here in Portland.
In fact, we can do both because we can do... your birthday falls on a Monday, but we can do it on the Saturday and Sunday preceding.
Maybe.
I think we should do both. And what kind of food? Toast isn't as food-driven as myself.
Yeah, healthy food. I don't know what kind.
What kind of healthy food?
Maybe blossoming lotus.
Okay, yeah, that's healthy. All right. I hope you folks enjoyed this lighter episode.
And don't be afraid to be nerdy.
No.
If that's what you are.
Be a nerd. There's so much to be proud of being a nerd.
Okay.
All right. So have a
nerd
wonderful
pride.
week.
There should be a nerd pride, huh? Okay.
I bet there is a nerd pride.
Nerd pride instead of like gay pride. Okay. And until then,
what would the nerd color be?
We wish you, I think it'd be black and white.
Really?
For the digital, like.
Oh.
That's very sciencey, isn't it? Black and white. Okay, before we start planning Nerd Pride, we just want to wish you a great rest of your week. Until next time.
This is Siena.
And this is Toast. Telling you love life and live free.
Oh, and also, if you like this podcast, leave us a review on iTunes. We haven't really been saying that lately.
Because we don't care as much as other podcasts do, I think.
Well, no,
apparently.
I care. Well, I care. I just forget. I mean, it's nice to know that there are listeners, and that definitely is what a review does. It's less about racking the reviews up. It's really about like, oh, someone left a review. Someone likes our podcast. That's nice. And it's like a boost to keep going.
It's like a two-way thing. It's not just us talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like, hey, people talk back to us.
Anywho.
Okay.
All right. So feel free to leave a review.
All right.
Or not.
Aloha from the non-traditional podcasters.